Well, I got it all cleaned up. And I have to find a new home for some of the stuff that's hanging there, but that's okay. I think I'm going to go to somewhere in this area here about with the cabinet, and it'll come out to about there. That'll still leave me a chunk of space over there for some stuff, but that'll give me a nice big solid more storage cabinets that'll be on wheels that I can move around, and I can put a whole bunch of those. I actually have 9 of those. I thought I have 8, but I actually have 9, and I think I'm gonna that'll fit that. Maybe I'll go a bit higher and go for 12. I don't know. We'll see. Cleaned out some more space, and that's the basic cabinet. It's worked out perfect because it's actually almost 50 centimeters deep, this area, but the cabinet's only 45. But there's an old, that's where the light switch was originally for the workshop. I moved it up there. So that's like just about perfect. Still got to put a back on this, obviously. But I thought I'd put the back on after I put all the rails in, because I thought it would just be easier. Instead of reaching back, I can go from both sides. So I'm going to have 6 drawers on each level. So that'll be 12 drawers. And I have 8 drawers over there, and I have 2 more down there that are empty. So I have a total capacity for 14, and I have 8 drawers. So I can add 6 more drawers. So that's kind of good. I can get some more space out of this. And I do have a little space up top there for whatever. But yeah, now I just got to start cutting some shelves for it, or you know, I guess drawers. They're just going to be the same as that. It's just a piece of this 24 millimeter plywood that'll have a little front on it, and getting her done. So I've got the front started here. I took one piece of plywood and I cut it out the width that I needed, and I don't know if you can see, but the lines of the grain line up on the plywood. So I'm just running the piece full all the way down and cutting each piece to fit. So I want a 3 millimeter gap here because, you know, with a lot of weight on these things, they'll droop a little bit, and I figured 3 millimeters. So I got a piece of wood here that's 3 millimeters. So I take the piece of wood, I stick it up against there, and then I take my ruler with a little stop thinger on it, put it up against there, and that's my size. And you know what? I don't even look at the dimension, because this is just a physical gauge of the size of the piece that I need. I'm doing it from the center, checking. It should be the same all the way along. So I've got my piece already cut over here, so now I'm going to go mark it and cut it. So here I've got my gauge set. So I just put it on here and I put a mark. I always try to put 3 marks, even if it's on a smaller piece, because if the ruler moves or you get the measurement wrong, it's harder to be wrong on 3 marks than it is on 2. Don't ask me how I know. So I just take this, stick it on here. There's my next piece cut. Okay, so I can do a dry fit. Got my piece, my spacer block. Everything looks like it lines up good. So now I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on here. Doesn't have to be type bond 3, that's just what I had handy. So put this on here like this. Grab my brad nailer and just pop a couple of brad. There. And take my spacer out. So, I mean, this is just workshop stuff, but at the same time, it's good practice, and it's, you know, it looks nicer that I use my chalk line here to line up all my screws, and then they're all lined up this way as well, and all the grain is going to line up, so the whole front of this thing will be like one sheet of plywood, you know, which is a nice technique to do on cabinets. This isn't really a beautiful thing. It's construction grade plywood, and it's a workshop cabinet, but it's still, you know, I think it's nice to do it nicely if you can. And like I said, good practice. You know, nothing wrong with practicing your skills. So on to the next piece. Well, I got it done. Finally got it all done. Had some problems down at the bottom here. Those other drawer slides that I bought were slightly different size, and I didn't realize that. So it kind of messed up my spacing there between the drawers, but oh well. And it's all one sheet of plywood, so it kind of looks cool, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I also put in the back here, I put these little bumper bars in, because what happens every time you close the drawer, the thing shifts backwards, and that way they just don't move whenever you open and close the doors. So yeah, 12 of those things in there in that cabinet. I think it's a better use of the space than I had with all that garbage piled in there. But yeah, good to get that one done. Now I got to finish up this renovation I'm doing. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later.